Hi everybody, this is Boog S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new NECA Ultimate Vincent Price figure. So before we take a look at Vincent Price, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the numerous accessories that he comes with. So first up you get this black cat, and this looks really good. The fur has some very nice sculpt detail to it. You get some tones of pink on the nose and inside the ears right there. You also get some sculpt to the bottom right here, but it's flat for the most part. That way it can lay down really nicely. Up next, you get a stack of records, and this is very detailed. You can see that it actually says Vincent Price Witchcraft and Magic, and on the back here you can see it says Tales of Witches, Ghosts, and Goblins. That's actually detailed very nicely. You can't tell what any of this says, but you can actually see that the words are printed on there. So that is very, very awesome. Up next, he comes with a set of open hands. Up next, he comes with this skull, and this is detailed very nicely. Just all of the textures and stuff over top of the skull. It has a bit of a wash over top of it. The teeth are painted a different color, a brownish color. That looks really good. And the jaw can actually move up and down, so that looks very cool. You're meant to balance this in Vincent's open hands. And if you fiddle with it, you can definitely get it in there straight. But I think that looks pretty cool. One weird thing is this does have a peg hole so you can put it on the head of a figure, and I don't think this was used with any different figure. The one that came with the Phantom was a lot different than this, if I remember right. Surprisingly, it actually does fit the ball peg on his neck, but that looks ridiculous. You can put the head on there if you want to, but yeah, as I said, that looks ridiculous. Up next, he comes with a tighter gripping accessory holding hand that has a hinge on it for holding his cookbook and his cookbook. And I am very surprised that NECA included this, but it looks very nice. You can see it says Cooking Price Wise with Vincent Price. And it actually has text here. I can't make out what it says through the camera here, but it actually does have text there. So yeah, that looks really good. This is surprisingly detailed for such a small piece. Up next, he comes with another right accessory holding hand for holding the candle right here. And the candle doesn't look too bad. The way the wax is melting down, it looks really good. But you can see that some of the flame didn't get painted on, so some of this base color is showing through. Up next, he comes with an alternate right accessory holding hand specifically made for the cigarette and for cigarettes. And he holds this very well. It doesn't feel like I'm going to lose it at all. Now, I might lose those other ones that don't go in his hands, but he holds that very well. I'm really happy that NECA included that as an accessory with him. Up next, he comes with an alternate set of accessory holding hands, specifically made for holding the teacup and the plate that goes underneath it. And the tea inside, that actually looks really good. It actually looks like there's liquid in there because of the gloss paint that NECA used on that. You can see where it's came up in the cup a little bit. That looks really good. NECA did a very awesome job on this. He doesn't hold the cup that well, but if you get it resting on the plate, it doesn't look too bad. Up next, he comes with an alternate right forearm and a raven to perch on top of it. It just pegs into his forearm, and it stays on there very well. I just wish we would have got a fisted hand to put with it. But I think it's very awesome that we got this. The raven itself is sculpted really nicely. The feathers look very nice. You get this blue paint over top of it. That looks very good. NECA did a very awesome job on this. Up next, he comes with a necktie piece. You get 3 different pieces that's interchangeable, and it's a little bit tricky to do this. So you have to pop the head off, then you have to move his neck forward, and if you have any fingernails, get down in there and lift that up. It's a bit of a nightmare getting these out. So it just slips off like that, and you have 2 other options to display him with. The alternate options are the ascot and the bow tie, and I think both of these look really good, but as I said, it's very tricky getting this on him. So to put it on, you slip it over this, get it down inside the suit, and then you have to push it down and make sure that it's on there right. So yeah, I got it cockeyed, and that's what it always wants to do. So I do think this was a good idea in theory, but it's really tricky to get it switched out and get it setting the right way and not getting it cockeyed. So there it is switched out, and I do think once you switch them out, it looks really good. But as I said, it's very tricky to not get it cockeyed. It took quite a bit of time to get this just the right way on him. Yeah. Up next, you get his regular head sculpt. And I think this is a spectacular likeness of Vincent Price. I think NECA did an incredible job at making it look like him. All of the features look really good. The facial hair that's printed on looks very nice. He has some phenomenal sculpt detail to his hair. It also has a little bit of paint variation over top of it. Yeah, that looks really good. I think this is a great likeness of him. NECA did an awesome job on this. Up next, you get his side-eye head sculpt, and this also looks really good. I think it's a very good likeness of him. The one weird thing is the skin tone is lighter on this version. So yeah, the skin tone on this one is darker, and you can see that. And finally, you get another head sculpt of Vincent Price, but this time it's when he's older, and I think this looks really good. The sculpt detail to the hair still looks incredible, and all of the features on him look really good. Just like with the previous two head sculpts, I think this is a stellar likeness of him. So yeah, NECA did an incredible job on all of these head sculpts. I think all of them really look like Vincent Price. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the figure. So taking a look at the rest of Vincent Price, I think his suit is sculpted really nicely. You don't need a whole lot of sculpt detail there, but all of the wrinkles look really nice. For some reason, I actually thought that he reused some pieces from the Invisible Man, but he doesn't. All of these pieces are brand new. The one thing about this figure is I feel like something's off with the torso right here. I feel like he has really long legs, which Vincent Price was actually taller in real life. If I remember right, he was actually 6'4". But yeah, I feel like the legs on this just look a little bit too long. I feel like something is just a little bit off there. But other than that, I think it looks good. The wrinkles are sculpted really nicely. You get the seam on the pants right here. And even the shoes look really good. The glossy black that they're painted in looks very nice. But no sort of sculpt detail on the bottoms of his shoes. Other than the legs being just a little bit long, I think this figure looks great. I honestly never thought NECA would do a Vincent Price figure, but I'm glad they did, because they did an incredible job on him. So going over his articulation, he does have a ball-jointed head and neck that can look up all the way. He can look down just about all the way. He can move his head side to side very nicely, and all the way around. But if you do that, you can see this piece moving underneath here. The more you move it, the more it's going to slide to the side there, so that is a bit of an annoyance. He has shoulders that can move out that far, single jointed elbows that can bend in just about all the way, a swiveled wrist that can move side to side and up and down. I think it's a ball jointed waist and diaphragm underneath here. He can't really crunch forward that far. He can't move back at all. He can move side to side very nicely and around like that just a little bit. He has ball jointed hips that can only move out that far. If you move it any further, you could split his suit right here. He can kick forward just a little bit, back just a little bit. Very nice thigh swivel. Single jointed knees that can bend back just about all the way. Swivel up here in the shin that can move side to side. Ankles that can move down just a little bit, up just a little bit. And an ankle rocker that it's pretty stiff. You can hear that when I'm trying to move it. So yeah, that feels very stiff. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the Invisible Man, and they definitely don't share any pieces like I originally thought they did. Vincent Price is a little bit taller than him, actually. Here he is next to the Fiend from Misfits. I still hope we actually get a Crimson Ghost version, a red version. I'm really surprised we haven't got one of those from NECA yet. Here he is next to Dracula. Here he is next to Nosferatu. Here he is next to the Mummy. And finally, here he is next to Frankenstein. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up because NECA did a phenomenal job on this. The amount of accessories that he comes with, like his records, his cookbook, the alternate forearm, it's crazy the amount of accessories that he comes with and how well detailed they are. I also think the likeness is stellar. I do feel like the legs look just a little bit long on him, but that's a small gripe because the rest of the figure looks amazing. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.